One impact, just one explosion was enough to bring Earth to an end. Land and sea all were destroyed, and the Earth was engulfed in flames. For about 165 million years, dinosaurs ruled the Earth, strutting around like they owned the place. These guys were the OG landlords, roaming every continent and dominating every ecosystem. They were basically the Kardashians of their time, famous, fierce, and absolutely everywhere. But then, about 66 million years ago, their reign came to a crashing halt. And by crashing, I mean a massive asteroid literally crashed into Earth, changing the game forever. You ever wonder how the heck Earth managed to keep these giant, constantly hungry reptiles fed? Well, it turns out our planet was like a never-ending all-you-can-eat buffet back then. The climate was warm, and vegetation was abundant, with lush forests and vast plains covered in greenery. These plants were the primary food source for the herbivorous dinosaurs, and in turn, the carnivores had plenty of herbivores to munch on. It was a well-oiled ecosystem, perfectly balanced, until it wasn't. So imagine this, a huge asteroid, minding its own business, drifting through space. Suddenly, it's caught by Earth's gravitational pull, and like a moth to a flame, it starts hurtling toward our planet. This thing wasn't just taking a casual stroll. It was speeding toward us like a rock star late to a concert. Get this, it was going at a mind-blowing speed of around 40,000 miles per hour. Yeah, that's right, faster than a Ferrari on steroids. When it finally smashed into Earth, it was like the universe hit the reset button with a hammer the size of Texas. This massive rock likely came from the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. Picture it as a piece of space junk just floating around, waiting for its chance to make history. And boy, did it make history. Just not in a way the dinosaurs would have liked. Now let's talk size. This wasn't just any rock. It was a beast with a diameter of about 80 kilometers, 50 miles. To put that into perspective, that's roughly the size of a small state or a massive city. Imagine a rock the size of a city slamming into Earth at 40,000 miles per hour. Yeah, not a good day for anyone. Oh, it was tall, all right. So tall that if you were standing at the impact site, you would have needed a commercial airplane to see the top of it. We're talking about an object so massive, it reached heights where planes fly today. And trust me, you wouldn't want to be on that flight. When this rock hit, it unleashed energy equivalent to about 10 billion Hiroshima bombs. The impact created a massive crater, Chicxulub crater, which is now buried under the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. But it didn't just leave a big hole. It also triggered a series of catastrophic events that wiped out 75% of life on Earth, including those infamous dinosaurs. The Chicxulub crater, as it's now known, has a diameter of about 150 kilometers, 93 miles. Imagine a hole stretching from one end of New York City to the other, or about the distance between Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. Yep, it was that big. The asteroid hit near what is now the town of Chicxulub in Mexico. Today, the crater is mostly underwater, but scientists have studied it extensively, piecing together the events that followed the impact. Before we continue, please like this video because our channel is small and new, and your likes are a huge support for us. The impact generated colossal waves, some over 300 feet high. However, some scientists believe these waves could have been as high as 1.5 kilometers, almost a mile. These waves, known as megatsunamis, would have crashed onto nearby shores with unimaginable force, wiping out anything in their path. Picture waves as tall as the Statue of Liberty or even higher, but instead of welcoming you to America, they're here to destroy everything in sight. Over Earth's history, it's been hit by many asteroids, but the one that took out the dinosaurs is by far the most famous. There have been other significant impacts, like the one that created the Barringer crater in Arizona, but nothing compares to the Chicxulub impact in terms of sheer devastation. After the impact, Earth became a real-life disaster movie. The impact caused massive earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and wildfires. The shockwaves traveled through the planet, shaking it to its core. It was like Earth had the worst hangover in history. The megatsunami was one of the immediate and most terrifying consequences of the impact. The waves generated by the collision were over 300 feet tall, and some scientists even argue that the waves could have reached 1.5 kilometers in height. These waves pounded the surrounding coastlines for hours, obliterating everything in their path. These waves weren't just a one-and-done deal. They hammered the coastlines for hours, maybe even days after the initial impact. Coastal areas were completely submerged, and the land was reshaped by the relentless assault of the water. The energy released by the asteroid impact was about 10 billion times more powerful than the Tsar Bomba, the largest nuclear bomb ever detonated by Russia. So yeah, this impact wasn't just off the charts, it redefined the charts. Yep, the Tsar Bomba holds the record for the most powerful nuclear weapon ever detonated. But even that pales in comparison to the asteroid impact that ended the age of dinosaurs. The bomb was devastating, but the asteroid was apocalyptic. Oh, absolutely. The impact sent molten rock and debris flying into space, but gravity did its thing and pulled it all back down. These fiery fragments rained down on Earth like a meteor shower from hell, igniting wildfires and cooking the planet's surface. The fiery rain set huge swaths of the Earth on fire, burning up vast forests and turning the planet into a blazing inferno. It's estimated that about 70% of the Earth's forests were set ablaze, creating a global firestorm that lasted for days. This wasn't just a quick burn. The firestorm raged on for days, maybe even weeks. The intense heat and smoke would have choked the atmosphere, blocking out the sun and plunging Earth into darkness. As if things weren't bad enough, the impact also released massive amounts of sulfur into the atmosphere, leading to acid rain that was literally lethal. This toxic rain killed off marine life and made the oceans a poisonous soup. Only the toughest, most resilient creatures managed to survive, especially those in sheltered environments. Among the survivors were some species of fish, amphibians, and reptiles, but the real winners were the small mammals and birds who managed to find refuge. After the fires died down and the rains stopped, the first plants to reclaim the devastated Earth were ferns. These resilient plants can grow in the most barren environments, and they were the pioneers of the post-apocalyptic world, slowly greening up the scorched Earth. Earth didn't bounce back overnight. It took about 100,000 years for the planet to stabilize and for life to begin thriving again. But even then, things were never quite the same. The age of dinosaurs was over, and a new era of evolution began. According to scientists, it took the oceans a whopping 3 million years to fully recover from the impact. That's right, millions of years of chaos, with marine life slowly crawling back from the brink. The survival of small birds is one of the most incredible stories of the aftermath. Their small size, ability to fly, and their diets helped them survive in the harsh conditions after the impact. These tough little creatures were able to find food and shelter where others couldn't, allowing them to endure the catastrophe. So, what's the big takeaway from all this? The dinosaurs might be gone, but their legacy lives on in the birds we see today. After 200,000 years of chaos and destruction, Earth eventually became a paradise for new forms of life. Forests regrew, new plants like pecans emerged, and animal diversity exploded. That wild asteroid impact didn't just end the age of dinosaurs, it paved the way for the world we know today. In just 2 hours, 75% of all life on Earth was wiped out. The smoke and ash from the fires covered the globe, plunging the planet into darkness. Pieces of the asteroid were flung into space, only to rain back down, turning the Earth into a fiery war zone. Forests within 1,000 kilometers of the impact were set ablaze, and even after the waters receded, fires raged on. A 12.0 magnitude earthquake shook the planet, causing mountains to crumble in Argentina, thousands of miles away. Within a 500-kilometer radius of the impact, nothing survived, and even animals outside that zone faced extinction. I hope this video was useful for you. Don't forget to support us by liking, commenting, and subscribing for more and better content. I recommend that you watch this video if you like this style of videos. And stay curious and energetic until the next video.